Hi everyone, welcome to Out of Bounds, presented by Ghostline Entertainment. My name is Sal Capaccio. Glad to be along here again at Danny South Restaurant, located at 4300 Abbott Road, across from Ralph Wilson Stadium, home of the Buffalo Bills, where Sunday they took care of business against the hated Miami Dolphins. 33-17, big win for the Bills against the Miami Dolphins. All right. We love hearing that. We got a great crowd in attendance tonight, and it's no coincidence why we have that great crowd, because AJ Tarpley's here, of course. And and the guy that you brought, I'll let you introduce your teammate tonight.
Definitely, and not much introduction needed, but here with me is Richie Incognito.
Richie Incognito, thank you so much. Thanks, man. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me. Richie, your second time in Buffalo. You had an early stint earlier on in your career. You came back. What is it about Buffalo that brought you back, that you were excited to come back?
Buffalo is a great football city. First and foremost, the fans up here are into it. They love it. It's a blue-collar town. I love the attitude of the Buffalo people, and to come in with the Pagulas as new owners and Rex being a new coach, it was a perfect fit for me. Everybody being new, and they gave me an opportunity to come in here and be myself, and gave me a fresh start. So I was excited to come back.
You've talked a lot about that. Before we get to the game against the Dolphins, you were away from the game for a year, but how much did that really factor into how much you take every day for what it's worth, and really get out after and understand how really every game could be your last game that you play in this league?
Right, yeah. It definitely gave me a new appreciation for the game. Coming out and being out of the league for a year, I had something that I love very much taken away from me. So coming back, it was important to me to take every day like it was my last day. Approach every practice, every game like it's the last one, and really really appreciate what I have going on, because you get so caught up in it, and sometimes you kind of take it for granted.
How did you stay in shape? Because Rex said you were in amazing shape when you came back, and that was one of the question marks when they signed you, and you were really physically, and you still are. How did you do that?
I just grinded every single day. I had some good trainers back home in Arizona at Exos, and he pushed me every single day to get better.
Mentally, it had to be a grind as well, and I know I've spoken with your mom. She's here tonight. Welcome, Mrs. Incognito, but I know you have a great support staff around you, and I'd be remiss if I didn't let you talk about them a little bit as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I got my mom here, my dad, my brother, my buddy Sargon, my buddy Gabe. Just having them around me and support me, and they taught me to dream big and follow my dreams with a lot of passion, and sell out for what I believe in. So without them, I wouldn't be here today.
And obviously, AJ, accepting Richie into the locker room, accepting him for the guy he is, and he's quite the guy, isn't he, in the locker room? What's he like, man?
He's awesome. Coming in as a rookie, you always, you don't necessarily worry about the veteran guys. You kind of wonder, who's going to do what or make you do something. But Richie's been great. Not only a leader, but also great to go against. Him and the entire O-line, just kind of setting the tone. Able to free up Carlos and LaShawn for 100 yards each or more. So. Those guys are doing awesome.
And he did that on Sunday, and he is playing, and you are playing, Richie, at a Pro Bowl level. I mean, how much of it is you fighting for a new contract at the end of the year, and how much is it just that you're loving playing football again, and you're out there doing what you got to do?
Yeah, like I said, I just appreciate every day going out there and having a new perspective on it, and it's fun to go out there and grind and get those wins and get the running backs over 100 yards, and there's a lot of different factors that are coming together, and we're starting to build some momentum, and we've got a big game this week against the Jets.
Well, I'll argue that you've been the most consistent player on the offense, and that's really good. And it's going to be good for you at the end of the year. Do you want to come back to Buffalo? Would you like to re-sign here at the end of the year?
Oh, 100%. I love it up here. I love everything about the organization. I love playing for Rex. And, it really couldn't be a better fit for me.
Talk about Rex a little bit, AJ, and this week and how much this means to him, because you got the Jets on Thursday. I know folks at home are going to be watching this probably after the game, but as we lead up to that game, you're going to be asked a lot of questions, AJ, about Rex and going back to the Jets. How do you block all that out? What does it mean to him?
Definitely, and he told us about that. He said that the media and everybody was going to make it a huge deal, and, it is a big deal, obviously, but at the end of the day, he's a team-first guy, and he said, he's not going to let it distract him. He's all about, playing the next game. It's a huge division game for us. Not only being him, being from there, but also, we need to get this win. They're ahead of us in the division. We have a chance to, go ahead of them, and it's huge.
Speaking of the division, the Bills' big win over the Dolphins on Sunday. They set an NFL record. I will tell you what that is when we come back, and this guy had a big part in that. Richie Incognito is our guest on Out of Bounds. Stay tuned.
Out of Bounds is brought to you by Diamond Cutters of Western New York. Buy where the pros buy. Buy direct from the Diamond Cutter. Excura Salon and Spa, the finest in traditional and modern techniques. Savor the experience. BOVA Family Chiropractic, 1953 Ridge Road in Seneca. Feel the healing hands. Stumps Gymnastics Center, 2187 Worley Drive in Williamsville. And by Flixtures on the web at www.etsy.com/shop/fixtures. By Buffalo Battleground Airsoft Arena and Store, providing birthday parties, walk-on play, and gaming 5 days a week. And by Wall Performing Arts Studios. Dance, act, sing, learn from the best.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds here at Danny South Restaurant. Make sure you come down here. They have world famous chicken wing soup. They have great servers, bartenders, hosts. They also have all the games on all the TVs, whether it's football, basketball, hockey, whatever you're into. Come down here to Danny South Restaurant. They're also going to be sending a bus to the New York Jets game, going down to support the Buffalo Bills in the Meadowlands. We'll get to the Jets in a little while, but let's look back on Sunday, Richie. A 100-yard rusher, another 100-yard rusher, a 150-yard receiver. First time in NFL history a team has had that trio. It's got to make you feel good as a guy blocked for those.
It does make us feel good. Anytime you get a 100-yard rusher, it's a special day, and to have two like that, it's an extraordinary day. It's very hard to run the ball in this league, and to have two guys go over 100 yards and then have Sammy go over 150 yards receiving, it's a great day.
LaShawn McCoy, is it tougher to block for him because he has such good vision he could cut back at any moment? What's it like out there having him run behind you?
Things don't really change when we have LaShawn or Carlos running. Right. They're both two very different runners. LaShawn's more of a space guy, make guys miss, got a lot of wiggle. And then Carlos is your north-south straight ahead guy. So we draw up plays, we have our landmarks, and they know where we're fitting, and they kind of run off us. So LaShawn, he's crazy. He'll pop out anywhere. And with Carlos, you know where he'll be. He'll be going north and south.
And you got to go against these guys every day, AJ, at practice. I mean, Carlos has really shown that he's not just an average rookie. This is a beast of a man, 230-something pounds, sticks his foot in the ground, changes direction. What's it like going against those guys at practice?
It's tough, but that's what you want, especially when they're on your own team. So anytime you get a chance to go against those guys, it makes you better. Whether you gotta fit up Carlos in the hole or try and tackle Shady in space. And obviously, as your own teammate, we're not doing live reps, but at the same time, you do see the flashes, and it's awesome.
How much of a boost was it, AJ, to get the very first snap? 2 points for you guys, because that crowd had a big effect. Snap through the end zone behind Ryan Tannehill. How big of a boost was that confidence-wise?
Huge. It was a huge game and huge atmosphere, and for us to get the fans involved that early, they've been great all season, but we also want to pay them back. They've been awesome, and we want to be awesome. So for us to be able to get that, get the momentum started, get that play, get points on the board, it was great.
I want to talk to you a little bit, Richie, ask you about your fellow guard, John Miller. He's a rookie, much like AJ coming in this league. He starts right away. That's not easy for a guard to do. What do you think about his play and how's he handled it mentally as well?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult for these young guys to come in and play like that and contribute early. John's done a great job. He's really handled the mental aspect of things. He picked up on things from a very early stage. He kind of handled it like a vet player. And he's coming along as a rookie. He's getting better week in and week out, and we're trying to get him learned up on some technique and some tricks that we use. So he's getting better each and every week, and he's got a very bright future in this league.
All right, so what is it going to be like with this quick turnaround for you guys? You've done this before. You've been in this league long enough. Can you give these guys any advice on how to take care of their bodies or anything? What is it like playing really a full game on Sunday? Like, you don't come off the field, and then you got to quickly turn around and play another game on Thursday night.
Yeah, it's tough to do. It's definitely not fun. It's not something I look forward to. The Thursday night games they're a headache. They're a major inconvenience, and especially playing the Jets on the road, a division game with all the playoff implications. I'd much rather have it.
Another physical team too.
Another physical team. I'd much rather have it at the Ralph.
Right.
And I'd much rather have it on a whole week of preparation. Sure. So the big thing is get off your feet, get rest, get mentally into it, because we're not going to get much practice time, and try and be as fresh as possible for Thursday.
Now, you've played Thursday night games in college. I think you did at Stanford, but you've never had this kind of a turnaround, have you?
No, never. It's something that's new to me, and I'm just kind of watching the veteran players. Like Richie said, anything we can take away from them, not just out there on the playing field, but also things like this. How do you prepare when you have a short week? How do you peel back on some stuff? How do you hold back on what do you do? And so it's been a learning experience.
Are you ready for these red jerseys? How are you guys going to look in these things, man?
I think we look sweet, man. I like it.
You like that, huh? All right, listen, we're gonna focus on the the New York Jets in a little while. We'll talk about what's going on. But before I do that, I gotta ask you, before I came here, I'm waiting for you. I'm in the locker room, you're playing ping pong against Mulligan. You guys play ping pong a lot. It seems pretty competitive. How good are you?
It's super competitive, and point blank, I'm the best player in the locker room.
Ooh. Now, I was told today by many people, and they confirm the hierarchy is actually rookie Nick O'Leary is number one. And then Hogan's 2.
Yes.
Kyle Williams is 3.
Yes.
And then there's a drop-off to the rest of you, I was told. Is that right?
There's a big drop-off.
Oh, okay.
So O'Leary's like Forrest Gump, man. He's unbelievable. And then, yeah, Hogan and him are the best. They go back and forth. And Kyle's a little banged up, so we've been picking on him a little bit. He can't move too well, so.
You also have pool table. Who's the best pool table player?
We don't venture over there. We stay around the ping pong.
Yeah, I noticed it's just the linebackers playing pool all the time. You guys are over there playing ping pong, right?
Ping pong team.
All right, we'll get to more. We're going to talk about Richie, about him growing up. This guy's a great athlete. You're going to learn a little bit more about him and where he came from and going to college and getting into the NFL when we come back. We thank you for joining us here on Out of Bounds. We'll be back after this timeout. Stay with us here at Danny South. Yeah! All right, big game against the New York Jets, and earlier this week, our Vic Ace Vito was in the locker room with a special guest, Seth Foster, returning where he started. He now works for the San Diego Padres, their broadcast. He works for their front office. He's back here in Buffalo. We're so proud of him. Thanks a lot, Seth, for coming back along and being a part of the show this week. He was with Vic Ace Vito in the locker room, and they talked with the guys about the big upcoming game against the Jets.
You know, when you're coming down from the middle of the field, you got to try to do things more inside out instead of trying to do the thing outside in as a corner. As a safety, you got to do things inside out. You know, make sure you keep the sideline and the ball carrier in front in the inside of you, so everything will be fine.
Do you think that teams, now that they see you lining up there, will start trying to bone up and do their homework on you? I mean, you can't surprise anybody anymore, I guess is what I'm saying.
Most definitely. You know, you got to go out there and I still got to do my work. I still got to play my coverage. I still got to play my assignments, what's going on, so it really truly don't matter about the other team. So you got to worry about my
A real talented team. You know, you touched on it there. You know, Chris Ivory's big, powerful, back, great vision, all that type of stuff. He's tough as nails. You add, you have Brandon Marshall, one of the best receivers in the game, doing a great job. They lead the NFL in red zone offense, and it's no surprise you got those two giants. You got Decker and Brandon Marshall out there. I think Decker has 6 touchdowns already. And a great runner in Ivory, so that's going to help your red zone. And Fitzpatrick, I've gone against him several times. He's a competitive guy, obviously, and gets rid of the ball. You can't get to him, so he's getting rid of it. Go ahead and write your stories. We don't get any sacks. Trey ain't getting any this week. All right, that ball's coming out quick. And that's what he does with it. I mean, he knows where he's going. He's a sharp guy, and he gets rid of it.
No, it's a division game. We understand how important it is, the magnitude of that game. If you want to win the division, you got to beat those teams. So this is a huge game for us.
How tough is it to play from Sunday to Thursday with the rest factor? I mean, are you sore? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it was a physical battle against Miami. It's a division game, so teams are going to come out ready to play. So, I mean, we just got to find ways to get healthy.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, presented by Ghostline Entertainment. We got some great sponsors on board every single week. Diamond Cutters of Western New York, Excurria Salon and Spa, and Meridia Credit Union. If your bills make you want to shout, it's time to go beyond your bank and make the move to your hometown credit union. That is Meridia. We have our special guest today, Richie Incognito, and our co-host, as always, AJ Tarpley. Also, Gabe Eichert, Buffalo Bills offensive lineman, joining us in the house tonight. So you never know the celebrities that are going to join us here. How good is Eichert at ping pong?
Terrible.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no. I take that back. Eichert's pretty good. He's got a pretty wicked serve.
All right, now you've done a lot in your life besides playing football. You were growing up. I think you were a shot putter as well, right? What other sports did you play?
Grew up playing everything: baseball, basketball, wrestling. Did a little soccer, swimming. I did it all growing up.
And then tell me a little bit about growing up in Arizona. What was that like for you, going to high school? Were you on like championship teams, anything like that? What was playing sports like for you there?
It was awesome. I was a very competitive baseball player growing up. Playing in Arizona, we play baseball all year round because it's nice and warm down there. So I thought I was going to go pro playing baseball. I got to high school and I started getting bigger and bigger, and I got to a point my sophomore season in high school where my football coach really wanted me to concentrate on football. My baseball coach wanted me to concentrate on baseball.
What position were you in baseball?
First base, pitcher.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I had to make a decision. I had to make a tough decision. I had to choose between baseball and football, and I chose football because I like hitting people. I like being physical, and And obviously that choice worked out well.
Yeah, and we see a lot of that today, AJ. As a former high school coach myself, people they have to choose. I think kids should just play everything, right? I mean, play everything. Isn't it going to make you better for all these sports?
Why not? There's so many things about each individual sport that transfer over. Whether it's how you play defense on basketball, lateral shuffling, whatever it is. Ball skills and whatever sports, and everything carries over. So you definitely see a lot more people being specialized now because they do want to go pro. But at the same time, I think you do need that variety of sports.
And what about mentally? What does that do for you? Learning with new coaches, new players. I mean, every group, every locker room is a different environment, right?
Exactly, and there's a different amount of people on each team. Football, you have tons of guys, 100 in high school, 100 in college, and then you got basketball, or maybe you got 10 to 12, and so it's just different dynamics, throughout the team, throughout the coaching, all your relationships, how you interact with everyone is completely different.
All right, so you were recruited, it says here, you can correct this if it's wrong, this is your Nebraska bio, by the way. It says you were recruited by Michigan, Michigan State, USC, and Oregon. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a big list right there. Why did you go to Nebraska?
I went to Nebraska because the strong tradition. Back then, Nebraska was a powerhouse.
Oh yeah.
And they had the pipeline to the NFL with offensive and defensive linemen. And, I wanted to go play big-time football. I was coming out of Arizona, and Arizona State and University of Arizona weren't that great. USC was kind of transitioning. They had this little-known guy named Pete Carroll coming in, and we didn't know how he was going to be. So, I went to Nebraska, and I was fortunate enough to play for a national championship my freshman year.
It's amazing.
And, it was great. It was a great experience.
Do you still kind of follow the program? Are you a big Cornhusker at heart? Some of those guys in the locker room, I mean, they go nuts for their college.
Yeah, they go
still,
crazy.
But do you still follow the program?
I still keep tabs on them. I'm getting older now and kind of getting further and further away from college. So
plus they haven't been as good, right? They've gone through a couple coaching changes.
Exactly. It's one of those things where they got a huge win against Michigan State.
There you go.
Go Huskers.
There you go. How'd Stanford do this weekend? They play?
They won, of course.
Well, who'd they play?
Colorado.
All right. Are they looking good? Bowl game? What are we doing here?
We only got one loss.
That's right. Wait, what about playoff? Final Four?
I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say anything.
Who was your head coach at Nebraska?
I played for Frank Solich.
You did? Okay. Now I think he's at Ohio now, right?
He's at Ohio. He's been there a long time.
Tell me a little bit about him because I know he's been around college football a long time.
Yeah. Frank was awesome. He was a very mild-mannered, very kind of, I don't want to say soft-spoken guy, but he was he's very calm. And he commanded a lot of respect from his players, and he was a great teacher. And I remember one day in practice, some guy on the practice squad kept messing something up, and Frank raised his voice. And I mean, the hair on my neck stood up. Wow. I turned around, and I was like, whoa, he is mad.
Because he never does that.
Never does that.
You see, I always say that, too. If coaches are always yelling, it rings hollow. But if they only raise their voice once in a while, then they mean what they're saying. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. You have guys that scream at you all the time, and it just goes in one ear and out the other.
What about Rex Ryan? What's he like? What's it like playing for him?
Rex is awesome, man. He's all about being yourself. He's all about having fun. He's all about being a professional, and he's all about just doing whatever it takes to win.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk about Rex Ryan returning to the Meadowlands to take on his former team, the New York Jets. A very, very big divisional game for this team, the Buffalo Bills. Both teams come into the game with a chance to get into a playoff seed. The Jets hold it right now. The Bills want it. We'll talk about that when we come back on Out of Bounds.
Out of Bounds is brought to you by Diamond Cutters of Western New York. Buy where the pros buy direct from the Diamond Cutter. Excurus Salon and Spa, the finest in traditional and modern techniques. Savor the experience. BOVA Family Chiropractic, 1953 Ridge Road in Seneca. Feel the healing hands. Stumps Gymnastics Center, 2187 Worley Drive in Williamsville. And by Flixtures on the web at www.etsy.com/shop/fixtures. By Buffalo Battleground Airsoft Arena and Store, providing birthday parties, walk-on play, and gaming 5 days a week. And by Wall Performing Arts Studios. Dance, act, sing, learn from the best.
All right, one final segment of Out of Bounds, and like I said, I know a lot of you at home are watching this, and the game has already taken place, but we got to ask these guys about taking on the New York Jets, because it's a huge divisional game, and right now the Bills sitting at 4-4, the Jets sitting at 5-3. Jets have what the Bills want. That is one of the playoff seeds in the AFC. You guys know you're right in the thick of this, right? I mean, even though things didn't start that well for you, Rich, 3-4 and start the season, you look around the AFC, I mean, this thing is wide open, isn't it?
Yeah, we're right in the middle of it. And I think Rex did a really good job when we came back from the bye week of stressing that to players that, hey, we still have all our goals out in front of us. We can still make the playoffs. We just got to get hot. We got to go on a little run here. And with the Jets, this is a division game.
Yep.
And, being a division game, being in the AFC, this game kind of counts like two for us.
So here we are on a Monday, AJ, and we talk a lot about you haven't watched film on them. You probably already have, right? It's even because the game's Thursday.
Yeah, you have to. With a short week, you got to get after it early. And I'd say the thing that, I wouldn't say our preparation takes a hit. It's more of, thinking about last game, going over last game. So you try and put that behind you as quickly as possible just so you can move on to the tape for this game.
Well, it helps that you won. If you lose, you probably are dwelling on a little more. Last year, and neither of you were here last year, this stretch really hurt the Bills. They lost at home against Kansas City and then on the road against Miami on Thursday. Maybe this year, this is the one that vaults you guys into where you need to be and you can have 2 wins. Everybody's hoping for that. But on the other side of the ledger, Ryan Fitzpatrick, a quarterback we're all very familiar with. What do you see on film from Ryan?
Good player. He doesn't like to take sacks. He's going to know where he wants to throw the ball, and they have some playmakers over there. They have a tough running back. They have playmakers at wide receiver. Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker, those guys, and it's going to pose a challenge for us.
And then on the other side of the ball, going against a really, really good front four, front three, however you want to term it. They do different things there. Todd Bowles is an excellent coach, but from that group, that's one of the toughest groups you've had to face this year, right?
This will be by far the biggest challenge for us up front. The best defensive line as far as talent, athleticism, and a really well-coached group. I played for Coach Bowles down in Miami, and very creative and does a lot of things to take away your strength.
So does that help you at all, Richie? Because you played for him, like going against his teams in practice. You can refer back to when you played. You say, oh yeah, I remember this scheme that he ran down there?
A little bit. You kind of have a general idea of what they're trying to do. But, each team's unique in what they do. And with Coach Bowles, each game plan is very unique. So there's kind of a little bit of guesswork this week. We know kind of what they're going to do to our base sets, but we're preparing for everything.
But you have been in the division, so that helps you as well because you do know the personnel a little bit, right?
Right. Yeah, we've been playing against these guys for years.
Right, and you've been, because since you were in Miami, obviously you could do that. And Rex going back, he's going to know the personnel as well. Now, how much we always talk about Rex being a players coach and things like that. You're going to get all the talk. We just talked about it. Do you guys just kind of do you ever talk about you want it, or is it internal? You want to win it for Rex? You want to do it for him because he's had your back, Richie? Is it one of those things where we want to have his back out at the place that got rid of him?
No question. Definitely big time for us this week. Rex came in the meeting and told us, it's not about this and not about that, and it really isn't. That's kind of in the past. But I think as players, we love Rex so much that it's personal for us. We want to go down and get a win for him and make it a good homecoming for him.
Well, he said he expects a lot of one-finger salutes going into the stadium for him. That's what he said. One finger waving is what I think he said. And I don't think he means the index finger, AJ. That should be a really incredible environment, shouldn't it?
It should. He's an honest guy. When he talks about that stuff, he's straight to the point. He's not going to give you anything that's not true. So I think he's pumped up, and so are we.
And IK Pauley's going to be a captain. You were a captain against the Dolphins. Yeah. He's going to let IK be a captain of the Jets. Is that cool or what?
That's awesome. I mean, that's... people make a lot about it, but it's special for us because we played against those guys and we know them well. And to go out and represent your new team versus your old team, it's special to us.
All right, listen, we want to thank you so much. I want to thank you personally. Since I've been here, since you've been here in Buffalo, I should say, really enjoyed talking with you. You're always good to everybody in the locker room, always willing and forthright to come and answer questions, and I appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much. No problem. And your mom is here, your dad's here, your family's here. We appreciate them coming out. Gabe Eichert is here. Give him a round of applause for coming out. All right, AJ, thank you. As always, man, great job by you. Thank you. All right, you can see why Richie Incognito and hear why he is a communications studies major. You did a great job in this role. Any broadcasting in your future or what?
I think so. I would love to do it. Yeah.
All right, well, that'd be cool. See, somebody's out there who's going to hire you. Don't take my job yet. We need you. All right, we need this guy. All right, thanks a lot for coming. Don't forget, come here to Danny South Restaurant. Watch all the games, the Bills, the Jets, Thursday night, and then it's a Monday night game down in New England, and we'll talk about that the next time we talk to you on Out of Bounds.